In this video, I'm going to go over the top 5 problems that we found with this 4th generation Nissan Quest. And one of the most important ones, which you care about a lot, are these sliding doors. It's a 50-50 chance that it does the problem or if it works. Looks like my lucky day. Well, that could be an issue. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to take a chance of if it works or if it doesn't work. I'm going to talk about it and what causes that. So number 1 is an engine ticking noise. Now you might hear it on a cold start more, or even when it warms up, you hear a slight tick, 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 tick. That is a warning sign, and take care of it immediately, because what's involved is, you guessed it, the timing chain. And the reason for that is the timing chain tensioner. Correct way to take care of this for a long run would be maintenance on oil changes. Make sure you get your oil changes done right when they're needed. I say 5K, manufacturers say 75 to up to 10, 12,000 miles. I think 5K is perfect no matter what kind of oil, synthetic or synthetic blend. It keeps the maintenance and keeps that tensioner clean. It's a little oil passage. And when that passage gets clogged, well, the timing chain gets stretched because the guide wears out because it has no pressure on it. And the plastic in there, it's a special kind of polyplastic, but it wears down and it picks up the gap of this chain, and next thing you know, you got that chattering noise. And then it might actually jump a tooth, and that will be catastrophic to the engine. So number 2 is an erratic or a rough idle, sometimes even a stalling, and it's a throttle body. And they're notorious for this on this particular model. I think it has to do with the location of it and the moisture getting in there, the cold air. It doesn't matter where you live, cold air in the morning, and carbon buildup. It just turns into like a little bit of a coal or clay. And that throttle body gets sticky, so people clean it, right? That's a good way to do it. But what happens is the computer now, when it's getting clogged, registers that and calculates. It makes a difference for the actual air intake, and it gets used to that. Then you go in there and you clean it, and now it's like, well, we're so out of whack because now it's cleaned, but it adjusted itself to the dirty air intake and fuel ratio. Now it's going to be all over the way. You can disconnect the negative, let it sit for like an hour, and hope that the computer resets itself. I personally say drive it like normal. Let's hope it doesn't stall. But once it learns the new regulations of how you're driving, it will readapt and reset itself for the proper airflow. Now the throttle body is located right here, and that is at the end of the airbox tube. They do say, and they recommend, Nissan does, that every 12,000 miles, you just go in there, take that airbox out, and with a clean rag, just clean the area. Don't touch the flap. You don't need to turn or adjust the flap. Just clean the area in front of it, and that will stop that buildup. Or if that throttle body is beyond cleaning, don't forget to check out 1AAuto.com, because we do sell thousands of those, and we have videos to show you how to install them. Well, number 3. Now, this one's kind of scary because you're just driving down the road and the car just dies. No engine light, no symptom like prior to it other than it just gave out on you. Well, a quick way to diagnose this yourself, because it's notorious for the fuel pump, is to get out, and hopefully you have someone with you. You can open the fuel tank door and take that cap off, and now just have someone turn the key in the on position, and you can just listen. A sound like that. And if it goes down, well, that's good news. That means your pump's working. If you don't hear that, well, you could also just get underneath and hit it with a rubber mallet, kick it with your foot, and that just jump starts the fuel pump. But you need to get right to a service station right away, because it's gonna die again when it shuts off. So go get some help, but that's a good way to diagnose the fuel pump. You guessed it, number 4, we're back at the door, and we're gonna talk about the unfortunate sliding door when it's in-op. Now, we have extensive videos on sliding doors for all different types of makes and models and repairs. But this particular model, what happens is water gets stuck in the inside track here or in the outside track due to the seals just wearing and tearing, and water gets in there and freezes. Now, I don't know where you live, but if you drop something around 30, 32 degrees at night, yeah, that can happen. That can freeze. So when that track freezes up, you're going to get the door just not jamming. Now, I can't imagine on my way to work and have to put the kids in here, drop them off at school, and that door won't open. What a nightmare. So keep it clean. Maybe keep the seals fresh with a little bit of like a silicone spray. Just every once in a while, wipe them down. Keep that water from going in there, and you should be all set. Number 5, yep, control arm with the ball joint. Apparently, this Nissan Quest, this generation, the ball joint wears out prematurely. I don't know why, but it does. It could have to do with weight distribution, could have to do with the way it was made at the time. It is a sealed unit, so it's not like you can replace it without the control arm. You need to do the whole thing. So basically what a ball joint is right in here. There's a little pivot ball, and it has grease in it, and it's sealed inside this arm. This is an aluminum arm, it's pressed in there. And eventually it will wear and tear. It's a normal wear and tear item, but not so early as the Quest of this generation wears out prematurely. And luckily we sell a lot of these at 1aauto.com.